Hello, my name is Nikolai J and welcome to my channel. So I have finally watched the long-awaited Too Hot to Handle. Actually, it's been out for a while and I was avoiding watching it, but I went ahead and watched it. I think it is definitely in Netflix's trending and it's sitting at number 6, which is really good. So obviously people are still interested in it. Now, to begin and to give you a little backstory, if you're not familiar with Too Hot to Handle, Too Hot to Handle takes 10 individuals from all over the world. Starts out with 10 individuals from all over the world. We got people from the UK, people from the United States, people from Australia, just everywhere around the world, everywhere you can imagine. And it's 5 men, 5 women. They come together in what is deemed paradise. It's a house on an island. I believe it's on an island. Yeah, it's on an island, I'm pretty sure. It's right by the beach. Beachside island. And they basically go in there under the false pretense that they're there to basically do whatever they want and to have a good time with whomever they want in more than a platonic way. But they soon find out that that is not the case. So they cannot have sex with each other. That is the big twist. No sex, and it goes further than that. Not only no sexual intercourse of any kind, but they cannot do any heavy petting. They cannot even kiss each other, and no self-pleasure, which also falls under the sexual umbrella. So this proves to be a problem because they are all single who enjoy getting down and doing what, you know, they feel needs to be done. So they have a little difficulty with this. Now, the incentive is a $100,000 prize. Only problem is you don't know who's going to win that money. However, any mistake that any of them make, it causes the group to lose money. For instance, a kiss is $3,000, which you find out in the show. And the more you do, obviously, the more pricey it becomes. And let me tell you, as I expected, they made that pot dwindle like that. Like when I tell you, it was just... money was going left and right, which I already called. From the moment I seen it, I'm like, they're going to leave with $20. Each of them are going to leave with $20 because I assumed that they all were going to split the money, but that was never said. They actually didn't know who the winner or winners were going to be, so it's up in the air. They don't really reveal that until the end, who takes home the cash prize of whatever is left. The narrator is honestly hilarious. She is so funny. So there is the first 2 girls that come in are Chloe, who is ditzy. She admits that she's ditzy. She literally says, I'm ditzy, so you have to be patient with me. And then there's Haley. Haley is ditzy just like Chloe. However, she's ditzy and also negative. She just literally hates everyone, which you soon find out. She's like, I hate all y'all. I don't care about y'all. The only person she gets along with is Francesca. The only person she gets along with is Francesca. And other than that, she's like, you guys all suck. I don't care what happens to you. Like, that is her attitude. But going in, she just seems like, of course, everyone's getting to know everyone. So this is pre her I hate everyone stance. She is talking about where everyone's from because, like I said, they come from all over. And she goes, I think she said Harry is from Australia. I have no idea where that's at. And she's in a sorority that she mentioned earlier. And the narrator makes fun of the sorority. Let's just say it's ABC. She goes, I forgot what their chant is. I think it's like woohoo, woohoo, who the heck are we? And the narrator goes, woohoo, woohoo, who the heck are we? We're the sorority of ABC and we don't know geography. Literally the funniest thing ever. Shouts out to the narrator. I'm not sure who the narrator is, but she provided much needed comedic relief. That whole thing was hilarious because of her. She just had all the sarcasm coming. Now, while I'm sure, of course, that it is scripted, it still was good stuff. And I feel like whomever that narrator was, she did a good job. Let me see if I can Google it. Hey, Google. Who is the narrator for Too Hot to Handle?
Desiree Burch.
So Desiree Burch, shout out to you. You are so funny. She had me cracking up. Again, like... but maybe it wasn't scripted because she's a comedian, so that could have just naturally rolled off the tongue for her. But she was very funny on that show. I'm glad they had her. And if they do a season 2, they need to have her again. So when they walk in, they immediately see this cone-shaped object, and a lot of them, some of them think it's a room diffuser. Some of them are like, I don't know what it is. You know, they just don't really worry about it too much. But it is a virtual assistant that is taking in information about them and basically, you know, getting to know them a little better and waiting, because they have 12 hours before she breaks the news that there is the no sex rule that seems to really rock everybody, especially the guys. They were just really having a tough time. They're like, I'm not gonna survive. How am I supposed to live? So yeah, she's just taking in that information. Then she lights up after the 12-hour mark, and she's like, hey guys, nice to meet you. By the way, you can't have sex. So yeah, everyone comes to love Lana. Lana also is basically there to snitch as well, which you see in one of the later episodes. When you want to know what happened, Lana will either say negative or affirmative. She will confirm and deny whether someone did something, like when they wanted to know who kissed and lost out $3,000 when nobody would come forward and make it clear it was them. The first $3,000 that was lost came from Harry and Francesca. Let me tell you, the Harry and Francesca situation really irritated me. Okay, so Harry, okay, they kissed, right? They went off, they kissed. Harry initiated it, but when he got back to the guys, he literally was like, yeah, we kissed, she initiated it. Why he felt the need to lie about that, I don't know, honestly, because I'm like, you're a grown man. Like, what are you lying for? And I'm not sure why people were so obsessed with who initiated it anyways. Again, have to remember this is scripted to some degree. So, I mean, I just felt like the whole, oh, you initiated it. Oh, you initiated it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You guys lost $3,000. So it doesn't matter who initiated it. At the end of the day, you lost out on money. Like, the pot is gone down. Okay, we're down. But he went and lied to the guys and was like, yeah, she initiated it and it just happened. And then when they got out in public, he's like, he's lying with a straight face, right? Lying. And then everybody thinks Francesca's lying, because they're like, oh, she looks shifty, she looks like a manipulator, she looks like this and this. So everybody's on Harry's side and nobody believes Francesca, when Francesca was actually the one telling the truth in that instance. So he's like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, we're adults, we shouldn't dwell on it. Did you really try to pull the adult card? You lied to grown men who can do nothing to you realistically with this control situation that you're in. They can't do anything to you. You lied to them like they were gonna get, like you were gonna get in trouble or something. I mean, regardless, it doesn't matter who's initiated it, because nobody pulled away. So at the end of the day, you're both equally as guilty. You both lost out $3,000 for whomever won the prize. So it's like, I don't know why that mattered so much, but it did. Next thing, so Francesca and Haley temporarily team up. Haley seems more interested in Francesca than making connection with any of the guys, which you quickly find out. She really didn't seem like she was checking for any of the males. She just was like I said, I hate you guys except for Francesca. And she just seemed like she wanted her. You know, she said, she was like, I hate Harry, I think he's stupid, and I don't think that he deserves Francesca. And it, you know, the way she came off was a little more than a concerned friend. It seemed more like a, I want to be with you type thing. You know, that's more. And she even came in and saying, I like girls, generally girls who blonde hair, look like me, skinny body, big boobs. That's what I like. So I think she was really checking for Francesca, but who knows, maybe it was just a platonic thing to her. But I mean, if you see what I've seen, which you will when you watch it, you'll know it wasn't platonic. We can pretend it was platonic, but it wasn't platonic. The workshops, the whole purpose of this thing, ultimately, this whole experiment was to get them to connect with themselves, forge deeper bonds, and not have such meaningless flings all the time. And I feel like the workshops, some of them definitely helped them do that. For instance, the male bonding workshop, it helped two people who were previously at odds come together because they got to understand each other a little bit better, and they had spent time together, and they just seen each other in a different light. Instead of it being we're competing for the same girl type energy, it became more so I'm into, you know, learning who you are, and I understand at the end of the day we're both just people trying to make it. We both have issues, we both grew up you know, and had our struggles. So I really enjoyed the exercise. I felt like it brought the guys closer a lot, and I was just like, yay for that exercise. When they were putting mud on each other's bodies, at first I was like, that's a little weird. They had to cover each other in mud, but it helped and it got them closer, and yeah, it served a purpose. So at the end of the day, I think it was a win-win and a plus for that workshop. Now, ladies had an exercise, a workshop as well, ladies only. It was to examine their yoni. Shan was on there. She was the one doing that. They were standing in a box and had a mirror, and they were examining it, and then they had to draw it. But apparently it did the trick. By the end, the ladies felt empowered, and 2 of the ladies who had kind of gotten into a tiff who were kind of bumping heads at that time and who were not being the friendliest, just kind of came to the conclusion that women are powerful and we can do so much more together than we can apart. So, you know, apologies were said and things were good, and they figured that out. So I do think the exercises, the workshops worked in that respect. All of them I don't think necessarily worked. Like, one of them I think was more kink than what it was supposed to be, which I think it's called Shibari. Was it Shibari? Yeah, I believe it's Shibari. It was way more kink, I think, than serious examination. But, you know, every workshop doesn't have to be deep thinking, having you in another space. Some of them can just be fun. So, yeah. So, of course, the show wouldn't be a show without some kind of twist. And the twist comes in this form. Besides this no sexual contact, which was a twist, another thing is Lana, the robot, the virtual assistant, can kick you off the show if she does not see you present any growth. If she doesn't feel like you are benefiting the group or you're growing in a relationship in some kind of way, she will kick you off, because at that point it seems like you are not really doing what needs to be done. She will then bring in a new person and bring in some new people, which sometimes makes the group larger. Kind of annoying, because, you know, it's more people to mess up and take from the pot when you have more individuals, obviously. So it's a frustrating thing, I can imagine, because you're like, we don't know who's going to get this money, but whoever's going to get it is going to be penalized for, you know, what other people do. And that is frustrating, to say the least, and aggravating, to say the least. But anyway, yeah, so Lana can kick them up, and she doesn't hesitate to have them come out to the, what did she call it, the palapa, and tell them what's going on. She will tell them, this group broke the rules, and as a result, you lost out on this much money. And Lana will get into details, okay? She tells you what you're losing out. She'll be like, you kissed 3,000, you did insert fill in the blank here, and you lose out on however much she deems necessary, but you can lose out on a good chunk of change doing things you should not be doing. So yeah, but the crazy part is, while the rules are no kissing, no heavy petting, no sexual activity, you can like take a shower together. As long as you don't do anything in that shower, you can take a shower together, you can cuddle. Like, I was just kind of like, huh? It's technically not a rule break, as they put on there. So you're good to go. You don't lose any money for that. But I'm just like, how are people in the shower not breaking rules? Like, you just feel like, considering what the rules were, it would be breaking a rule, but it technically is not. So that was something that was crazy to me. I was just like, I mean, I get it, because I heard her lay out the rules, but that seems insane. Another thing is, people are also free to leave whenever they choose, which you probably already knew. They are free to leave Paradise. I mean, I don't see why anybody would necessarily leave, because you have a chance at winning this money if there's any left after they get done touching and feeling on each other. You have a chance to win this money, and it's not like you have to do anything hard or rigorous to stay. You literally can just sit there and chill every day. As long as you talk to people and engage yourself, you really don't have to do much. So, you know, I don't see why anybody would want to leave. But I guess if you feel like you're not connecting with the people, that would make sense. You'll be like, I'm out of here. So yeah, you know, you can leave. You're not being held hostage. You are allowed to leave. But if I was personally on the show, I'm not leaving, okay? We can be friends. Even if I don't find a romantic connection, I'm getting some money. If there's a chance for me to win, I'm going to stay. So obviously I say that because someone did opt to leave, and you could just see the sadness in everyone's eyes when that person left. And I think that just spoke to how much of a connection they did build outside of it being romantic between all of them. I think just as a group of friends, they were getting closer. Like I said, it was 10 of them that started out. A couple more were added here and there, but essentially it was the core 10. And so when the person who chose to leave did part, you could see people were crying, and you know, people were just speaking so highly of that person and how they saw them and how sad they were to see them go. So yeah, it was just like, okay, so you do see emotions in here besides us just trying to get together and just trying to be on top of each other and trying to forge this boyfriend girlfriend thing. Just as friends, we're coming together and we're being closer. So my favorite people on this show, and keep in mind, this does not mean they were a couple. This doesn't mean they weren't. Just shouting out 2 names, were Nicole, who was from Ireland. I loved her, okay? She minded her business. She didn't bother anybody. She didn't start any drama. She didn't do anything trifling. Like, she literally just was like, I'm just going to stay in my lane and, you know, live my best life. And I can't think of anything better. So I loved her. She is easily probably my favorite female on the show, and my favorite male. And I just love her Irish accent. I just love it. I don't know, people from Ireland, I love the way they sound. Maybe that's why I love the movie The Luck of the Irish. Anyway, I just love Irish people. I just love them so much. I love to hear them speak. So that's also one of the reasons I think I liked her. But she honestly was, when I tell you unproblematic, like, she did not bother anybody. She's like, I'm just gonna live my best life. And the guy, the male that I loved, was David. I thought David was very, very sweet. He seemed like a really kind and gentle soul. And when he cried, like, I don't know, I was just like, oh, he's really in touch. And he just said the sweetest thing ever. And that made me like him so much. Like, he won me over. I was like, I like this guy, and I want things. I wanted him and, you know, I'll go ahead and tell you. So him and Chloe are not a couple. I wanted them to be a couple so bad. Like, I wanted them to be together. That was because I just felt like they're so good together. They both are unproblematic. They both are good friends. And I just wanted them to hit it off and to be as one. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So sorry. That's the only spoiler I think in this whole review, though. So yeah, like, nothing else is spoiler. And there's so many things I want to speak on, but because I don't want to spoil it for anybody and discourage them from watching it, I'm gonna not speak on it. But yeah, so overall, if I had to say whether or not I thought the show was good, I will say Netflix, you did it again. All right, I watched Love is Blind, I enjoyed it, and now I watched Too Hot to Handle, and I enjoyed it as well. Both, by the way, were trending, so maybe I need to stick to listening to trending things so I can or watching out for trending movies and shows, because I might be missing out on gems. But shout out to you, Netflix. Shout out to you, Netflix. You did amazing. I really, really liked this show, and I think you should definitely give it a watch. Tune in. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's not interesting to you, you can always turn it off. So many shows, and I feel like by now everyone has watched Love is Blind. Love is Blind as well, but Too Hot to Handle. I don't think you can watch it and not like it. And it's quick. It's 8 episodes, so it's super quick. You can watch it in a day. And because we're home, we ain't got nothing to do. We ain't got no jobs, you know, all of that Friday reference. Oh, and by the way, there is no reunion on there. At least not now. I don't know. Later on, they may come back and add one, but as of now, there's no reunion, which sucks, but it's life, so. All right, thank you so much for watching this review. Hopefully it has been helpful and it has been interesting enough to make you watch it, to motivate you to watch it. I didn't want to do too many spoilers on here because then people aren't gonna really feel like watching it. So I'm trying to avoid spoiling it. But yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.